Hi, Chair Powell. Thanks for taking our questions today. I'm Jolene Kent with CBS News. You've said wait and see, and the economy is doing fine today, but the impact of tariffs are already showing up at the ports. Businesses, big and small, are telling us that they feel it, and most importantly, consumers say they feel it, that the challenges are here, and there's no waiting and seeing. For Main Street, what is the breaking point? What would have to happen to prompt a rate cut specifically?
Well, you know, so we really don't see in the data yet big economic effects. We see sentiment, there are concerns that higher prices may be coming or things like that. So people they're worried now about inflation. They're worried about the a shock from the tariffs, but they really haven't. That shock hasn't hit yet. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the not just the sentiment data, but also the real economic data as we assess what it is we should do. And remember, there will be two effects. One of them would be weakening economic activity, which translates into higher unemployment, and the other would be potentially higher inflation. Again, to say it again, the timing, the scope, the scale, and the persistence of those effects are very, very uncertain. So it's not at all clear what the appropriate response for monetary policy is.
And this is the last part, but it's really important to cover, is that the Federal Reserve is a bureaucracy, okay? So they have thousands of people who work for them. One of my old acquaintances that I used to travel to Paris with, he works for the Fed, or he did for a while anyway. Don't know if he's still there. They have thousands of employees, and these thousands of employees go and gather sentiment data, they gather economic data, they make phone calls, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And it takes all these really lower level people to gather that data. Then the lower level managers run teams that put it together. And then middle management run their teams that collate it and then put it into big, thick 2,000-page reports. And then upper management has their teams that come in and whittle it out, right, to a 200-page report, 150-page report. And then gets it all ready, make sure it's primed and proper, and hands it to the Board of Governors of the Fed. All right, so it goes through all this. And whenever the Fed's working on data, they're normally working on data that's a month and a half old, right? They're not working on data from right now. And this is by design, so that they move slower. All bureaucracy is designed to move slow. The federal government bureaucracy is designed to move slow for a reason. They can't knee-jerk react to things. But it's also a problem because, as she pointed out, the impacts are starting to hit right now. And he's like, oh, we don't see that bad of this. And it's the data's good. Your old data is good, not now data. And during the speech, he was talking about, unemployment seems to be okay. Nothing, and he says this, he's like, nothing too impactful. Too impactful. What is too impactful? We've already heard about hundreds of thousands of jobs being lost. It's not too impactful. No, it is the beginning of the avalanche. But this is the problem with the Fed. They don't make decisions based on now. They don't do forecasting. They don't do trend analysis of what's going on right now and where it's going to possibly go in the next month or two. And he said this before, we do not forecast. We do not have tools for forecasting. He said that. And that is probably something the Fed should repair about themselves, because that's a big gap to not have. We need to know about the data now, since we already know what's coming down the pipe to at least some degree. We should know this will happen if that happens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have enough experience with recessions and with stagflation from the past where we can go look and say, we know what we need to do. But this whole meeting, he was like, well, we don't know. We'll have to wait and make a decision then. They don't know what to do. This is the problem with stagflation. This is the problem with laggy data. You can't make a plan for the future if you don't know what the present is. Anyway, that's the fourth video for the night. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you understand something. Take care. Oh, by the way, I was a guinea pig tonight, so that's why you keep seeing that in these videos.